Origami, make some paper, boy.
What is up, everybody in the internet land? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Mindless Thoughts Podcast. It's special because it's the fifth episode, number 5. Crazy, I know. That's insane because we are 1/20th to episode 100. Wow, we've come so far in such a short time. But anyway, we're back. Mindless Thoughts Podcast. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Glad I'm getting a little bit more consistent with this podcast. You know, I'm get more consistent with writing down all my ideas whenever I think of an idea that I'm like, oh, you know, I'm thinking of something in my head or I'm talking with someone, I'm like having a really good conversation about it, like, oh, I should write this down, and I'm starting to immediately do that and just get it all down, and even if it's dumb, you know, still get it down anyway. But yeah, so just glad to be back. I just got done watching I found this new YouTuber. Well, I guess he's not, is he new? I don't really know if he's new. He's new to me, and his name is Larry Lawton. And if you don't know him, he's you should definitely, I'm definitely putting him in the description. You should check his stuff out. What he is, he says in his videos that he is the world's biggest jewel thief. He made the most money off of robbing jewels or money. Maybe not just jewels, maybe just a robber. Made the most money off of robbery or some shit. And he went to jail for 12 years, and now he's back, and now he's making YouTube videos about, well, he wrote a book, and that was the first video I watched from him, was him reading a chapter out of his book. I guess not reading, he was just explaining what it was like at coming into prison, and how they just weird. One thing that stood out to me was when he was talking about being in the hole, and how to get food, they would get these styrofoam cups with their drinks and shit. And so what they would do with those styrofoam cups is they would just piss and shit and everything in these fucking styrofoam cups and just leave it in their cell for a couple days. Now these people are in the hole, which is solitary confinement. So the police officer would have to come in once a week, you know, to clean up or whatever. So they would shit and piss in this cup and just let it sit for a while, and then eventually once they open the door to I guess clean the fucking the cell, then they just chuck this fucking piss shit stinky ass cup of bullshit all in the dude's face. And it's fuck. And then what the cops would do is they would fucking all just run in and start beating the prisoner in the hole in the face with their batons and shit, and then they would beat up everybody else in that fucking section of the prison. If one person fucked up, everybody was getting fucked up. It's so fucked. Prison is just fucked, bro. I don't know. I hope to God I would never go to prison. And then, I forgot to open my water before starting the podcast. I guess I'll just, do a little ASMR. Ooh. I don't know. But anyway, he's like, Larry Lawton is also, he's like, reviewing the GTA heists. And it's like, I personally thought, like, the GTA 5 heists. I thought the GTA 5 heists were so thought out well and so, like, planned out well. I thought they were realistic, but this guy's just like, nah, most of the shit. Like, they do some techniques right, but most of the shit that you do in GTA, like, the planning-wise and, like, the team and everything, it's just not correct. Like, he says, one of the main things is the crew. Apparently, criminals don't just go from crew to crew to do, like, robberies. Like, they're not just, like, hired for robberies and shit. No, they, like, usually, like, just grow up with a crew. Like, they do the robberies with the same people. And it's a trust thing, It's like these guys, are robbing, trying to do illegal activities together, and they have to trust you enough to not only get your job done, but, like, in the planning phases, not whistleblow and get, like, paid off by the cops, or get caught by the cops and snitch and shit. So it's a lot of trust. And he said that he would never do it today because he heard a saying that, I forget how this fucking saying went. It was like in a group of 3, your partners can't tell on you if they're dead, or something like that. It was just like saying that if the best way to trust someone to not tell is to just kill them, straight up. So, like, shit is real. Like, this dude, Larry Lawton, he, like, talks like such a normal guy, He talks just like an uncle. Like, when he's talking, like, to his talking about, like, for the GTA videos, his, like, I assume his, like, son or his nephew, like, records all the gameplay, and, like, when he's talking about his son, he's like, he sounds like an uncle, he sounds like a normal guy, but, like, I feel like back in the day when he was actually robbing, like, he was real, bro. Like, he probably has killed someone, or at least shot at someone to seriously injure them. Like, that dude, he probably is normal now, but back in the day, most certainly was not normal. It's weird. It's so crazy. He's just a normal ass guy that just so happened to be a fucking, whatchamacallit. He's a normal guy that just so happens to be a fucking jewelry thief. It's just crazy. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if I could be, like, normal. If I was, like, a jewelry thief, or if I just went to jail, I don't think I could ever, like, translate back to being normal. Like, maybe I can, maybe I can't, but, like, I feel like if you want to go into, like, illegal activities like that, like, especially something as big as, like, jewelry thief, like, you have to, like, kind of turn a switch and, like, be crazy a little bit. Like, you have to be a certain type of person to just, like, say, fuck the law, I'm just gonna steal shit, I don't know. But anyway, shout out my guy, Larry Lawton. Maybe someday, if I get really big, I can have him on the show. I hope he goes on, like, Joe Rogan. Maybe I'll fucking tweet Joe Rogan or some shit, tell his ass to get this dude, because he's really good. And, like, GTA, hopefully Rockstar Games, yeah, hopefully Rockstar, like, just, like, talks to him. Like, get him as a consultant or something. Because, like, some of the stuff he says, like, just really sounds like it would make the game better. Like, he says that, if he just got a ticket before the fucking a heist, it would be over. And, like, every time he sees his son or nephew or whatever, like, driving like crazy, he's, like, always laughing his ass off because he's like, that's so unrealistic. Like, you'd be fucked. You'd be fucked right away. And, like, what if GTA did that in the story mode? Maybe not, like, for every difficulty, maybe just, like, a super realism difficulty, so, like, you have to fucking follow the laws and shit, and, like, I don't know, maybe there's, like, a certain amount of cops in the area, because there was this one time in one of the GTA missions where you, like, rob the bank that's in, like, this small town. He's, like, saying, like, how is this possible that this amount of cops would show up in this tiny town? So, like, maybe they would limit the amount of cops that actually show up and stuff. Maybe you have to, like, research how many cops, you know, the LAPD or LSPD or anything has, you know? Like, I feel like if Rockstar just talked to this dude, he would easily make the game, like, 20 times better. Speaking of Rockstar, hold up. Sorry. It's so awkward trying to take sips. I never know what to do. But anyway, speaking of Rockstar, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, fucking PS4, they're teaming up with PlayStation. Like, it's dope. I play PS4 boy. And if you watched the PlayStation 5 review, I'm gonna leave my reactions for that later. But, like, next console generation on the PS5, everybody gets GTA Online for free. And so, that, like, got me and my friends thinking, like, so they're gonna have GTA 5 online on PlayStation 5, and then they're coming out with, you know, GTA 6. So, like, we're thinking what Rockstar wants to do is keep GTA Online and make that a separate entity from GTA 6. And GTA 6 will be, like, the story mode, you know? And GTA Online will just be its separate thing. Like, maybe that's... And then we're also thinking, like, maybe GTA Online will be in Los Santos for that amount of time until GTA 6 will come out, and then GTA 6 will be, like, all the locations, and it'll just be, like, this massive map. Like, that'd be really cool. I really hope that. There's just, like, so many things they can do with having GTA Online. Like, I like this because I like the separation of GTA Online and the story, because I like my GTA Online character. I've spent so many hours. Like, I have, I think it's, like, 4 or 5 weeks, like, on GTA Online on my character, and I really don't want to lose that in the next installment of GTA Online. So it's nice that they're keeping that. And, like, also my crew, like, you know, my crew is just me and my friends. I don't want to lose my crew. We have a dope ass emblem, so it's dope that they're doing that. I just hope that they connect the maps, because obviously GTA 6 is going to have a different map. Hopefully they go somewhere other than Los Santos. Obviously, Los Santos is like the best possible map they've had so far, so it wouldn't make me that sad. But like, I've been playing, obviously, if you've been watching the other podcasts, I've been playing Vice City, and like, it's just a cool location, and it would be dope if they brought it back. We're thinking they're just gonna, like I said before, like, gonna have a map that's just like the USA, and it's just gonna be all of the different locations they've had, and maybe some more. Who knows? That'd be sick. And knowing Rockstar, they're probably going to make the right move no matter what. It's going to be a dope game, super polished, super detailed. I just hope they get... I didn't really like the story of GTA 5 as much as GTA 4. Like, the characters, Rockstar is so good at making characters funny and having all these little quips and shit. But I just hope they get a better story. I don't know. So everything else from the PlayStation launch. I guess I can start with my most anticipated game. Probably that one game I fucking totally forget the fucking name, but it was this one game where you're a guy. It's a first person shooter and you're a guy, and it looked like it was kind of like a first person shooter, like platformer, because anytime you died, you would just rewind to the beginning of the like level or whatever, and then just like go start it over and stuff. And so I thought that was cool just because it was so stylish. It was super stylish. Like, every single one of these games looked amazing on these PlayStation 5 hardware. Like, it was crazy. They all were super stylish, colorful, and stuff like that. But yeah, this one was super. I'm just totally blanking on the name of this game, but definitely dope as fuck. And then there was this other game that was like just a straight up 2D platformer that had like 3D. It was 3D art style and stuff. It was like these like weird troll monsters, and the one you played as had its like mouth sewn shut. And it looked like it had like that Super Meat Boy mechanic where it was like these super hard levels and you just go through it, and then at the end you could see all like your deaths and shit, because at one point you saw a bunch of the character you play as just like constantly dying and just one making it through to the end. So that looked good, and it was super stylish and had super dope ambiance. It was like weird fucking underground, maybe goblins. Like, you play as this weird goblin, and he's all like super fucking weird as fuck. He has his like mouth sewn shut and shit. It's super cool. Definitely some dope games coming out. Hopefully those are all launch titles. Like, I remember PlayStation 4 had just shit launch titles. Like, the only good one was like Dying Light or some shit. I don't fucking know. But hopefully they have a bunch. Like, I just wish they'd come out with like 30 games at the launch. Like, why can't they? Because like all these games are being developed for the PC, and like PlayStation and Xbox are pretty much just like little PC boxes now. Like, they're no longer actually game consoles. They're so similar to computers that, you know, it's just a port. I don't know. I'm not a fucking coder. I'm just saying the shit out of my ass. I'm just blowing steam, blowing time away, talking about this shit. And then the console itself I like the design personally. At first I was like, this is butt ugly, but then I realized with most designs for products that come out, people hate it. Like, that's something I realized with shoes, is that people just hate designs. Because people just hate new things. They love to hate new things. And like big bodacious designs like the PlayStation 5, they need time for people to like it. And I kind of like it. It's kind of interesting. It looks way better on its side. But the one thing I don't like it is the size comparison you see, because in the reveal they never like show any size comparison, so like you don't actually know, but like you can see the disc port, and that's a way to compare it to all the other consoles that you could see the disc port for. And like the disc port is super tiny, so it makes the console look ginormous, and I don't think I like that whatsoever. Like, I might have to wait for the fucking slim model, because this bitch is a fucking tank, dog. Like, it's like almost 2 times as big as the Series X, the next Xbox. Sorry, that was unprofessional. Stupid. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I don't know. That kind of made me hate the design. It's just how fucking big it is. Like, I don't know. You have to see it in real life. It's one of those things you have to see. But other than that, the design I kind of like. I like the futuristic, what they're going for, and all the lights and shit. And honestly, I'm probably just gonna wait until the slim variant comes out anyway, because I like my PS4. So yeah, I guess that's the shout out to Mad, because I wasn't actually watching the actual PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 stream. I was watching the Too Mad reaction stream. His ass is so funny. But he's a dirty little Xbox boy, so fuck you, Too Mad. Come at me, bro. You suck. So yeah. Next topic. I'm the best at transitioning. Like, if I'm being honest, I really am. Oh yeah. So I've been like really I guess I could give you guys an update on my reading situation, and then I can go into this next topic I've been thinking about. So if you listen to the last podcast, I said I wanted to start reading, and like I have this production book about BoJack Horseman, which is a really good show on Netflix. Definitely recommend you check it out. But I'm like halfway through that. And it's pretty good. They're talking about picking voices now. It's really interesting because like every single famous person they asked just immediately wanted to hop on the script. So I guess, BoJack was just set up to be really good from the start. But other than that, it's feeling good to read. I'm starting to read Steve-O's memoir as well. A few pages into that, and it's like, it's definitely interesting because I mainly get entertainment from like watching YouTube or listening to like music or podcasts, and with that shit, there's always sound going on. And even like when I started reading, I would have like music playing in the background, and I've realized that it's kind of nice to not have any sound and just be focusing on something with like just your mind and just like reading the words in your mind and everything else being quiet. Something super relaxing. When it's something new, because I feel like when you're watching, podcasts or listening, or not watching like YouTube videos or like Netflix or something, or listening to music or podcasts, you're always listening, You can't just like be in your thoughts in your mind. It's kind of like meditative in a way. Very interesting, and definitely glad. I have to get more consistent with reading, but definitely I'll keep you guys updated on this reading stuff. Steve-O's memoir, it's pretty cool. I'm like 6 pages into that. Interesting. He's from this one super smart dude who everyone in his family was successful and shit, and then this one alcoholic lady. So yeah, that like explains exactly who Steve-O is. He was driven and he was an alcoholic. But yeah, definitely gonna get cracking on that a little bit more. Hopefully I can report. And what I wanted to, like, these books, they're so cheap, and like everything around me, I've been like trying not to spend as much money, constantly. Like, I recently kicked vaping nicotine, like Juul pods and shit. I recently kicked that like over the summer because I've been butt fucking broke. I haven't been able to buy that shit. And like, I had to kick it. I'm like fully over that addiction, thank God, because now that I'm making money, I'm seeing how much of a difference it is not having to constantly go in to buy fucking new vapes, new Juul pods and shit. Like, how much money you're saving. And like, it feels good to not spend money, It feels good to save money, and it feels good to like not have to constantly buy shit, to like be able to go through a day and just, not take anything or consume anything. Like, obviously you're still consuming any stuff like food, and like I'm still watching YouTube and shit, but like I'm just sort of living on what I already have, and it's like it all feeds into this thought I've been having of just living within my means, just buying shit that only will help my life. I don't know. I'm sounding like a fucking self-help guy, but it really does help. It really feels nice to like not buy anything for a while, because when you do buy something, it feels a lot better. Like, I know I've been saying I've been saving a lot of money, but because I've been saving a lot of money, anytime I want to buy something, I'm like, do I really need it? No, I don't really need it. Or, I'll look at it and I'll actually research into it. And, like, is it high quality? Like, maybe it won't be. And then I'll look up the actually high quality version, and it's like ridiculously expensive. And then it goes back to, do I really need this? And so, and when you finally get to that point of buying something, it feels like a lot better. And once you finally get it, like, it feels a lot better than just constantly having to buy these new things. Like, when I was vaping, I was using disposable vapes, which isn't like Juul pods, but like these disposable vapes that would like last like maybe 3-4 days, and then I have to buy a new one. well, I was like constantly buying this new thing and then throwing it away. It's just like not special to me. And I feel like that feeling of just having this thing that, you know, if I break it or something, whatever, I'll just buy a new one. It like went into all my other stuff, and I started not caring about like my skateboard. Like I fucking chipped it and I didn't give a fuck about it. Like my laptop, it started getting dirty and shit. Like I started not caring about my other possessions that actually mean something to me. And so getting rid of that, having to constantly buy this new thing and chuck it away, you know, it made me appreciate the stuff I have right now. And I don't know. And also I think it's like being in social isolation, social distancing, whatever this is. It makes me want to wear my clothes a lot more. Like, I appreciate my clothes and, like, all my stuff because I see it every single day. And, like, I want to use it, but really, like, what's the point anymore? What's the point? I don't know. I don't know what the point of this was. I guess it's just, like, try to relax on spending, buying shit, you know? You don't have to constantly fill your life with things. I feel like there's this push to buy stuff, and then you want this and that and that and that. Like, you know, just step back, relax, you know, maybe meditate, buy a book. Books are cheap, bro. Books are fucking insanely cheap. And then once you have that book, like, I don't know about you guys, but it takes a while for me to read a fucking book, so that shit's gonna last me a while. I don't know. It's good to be frugal. It's good to be frugal, for sure. For sure. I am the worst at motherfucking goddamn what? Oh, sorry guys, that was super unprofessional. I was reading some shit. So one major thing that I'm doing this summer is I have to paint my garage. Because it's been a while since my garage has been painted. I've never painted a garage before in my life, and I thought it was just going to be like a week-long thing. No, it's fucking hard, because I had to first scrape off any of the loose paint that's falling off of this garage, because it has been painted in like years, off of all the sides. And then I had to paint all of the sides with primer, and now what I'm doing is priming all of like the detailing, like all of like the windowsills and shit, anything that has to be white. I'm putting white primer on it right now, and that shit's annoying because I have to get into all these like nooks and crannies and shit. And then after that I have to go over the fucking primer with its paint for each of those different primers. And then I have to fucking paint the door. Like, and it's just a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. But one thing that has like sort of kept my motivation up is that it's a physical goal that like I set myself this summer, that I want to paint this fucking garage, and something that you can see get done. Like, you could see the progress every single day get done, and it's very obvious, and there's something super satisfying about that. And it's really gratifying too. Like, once I get done with the amount of work I want to get done for the day, or once I get done with the side, like, it feels really good, you know? And it got me thinking about setting goals, and, like, metaphysical goals in my life. And what do I want to see me accomplish? And I guess, like, other than, you know, working in animation, I want to be in a neighborhood with my friends, preferably have a partner, and I don't know, just like what I'm doing, being in an area that I enjoy, in a house that I enjoy, house, apartment. So I don't know, it's these metaphysical goals are big goals, but they're still goals compared to like just painting the fucking garage. And the garage is something that I'll be able to get done over a summer, so I can physically see the progress happening. But these metaphysical goals, like me getting my dream job, or me living with my friends, these are things that take like time and effort, and it's something that you really don't see the progress over an amount of time. But it's the same thing as painting. It's just something that takes longer. I don't know what I'm saying. I guess I just have to... It made me feel good, because I guess I just don't have to be stressing about achieving these big goals, because it's not something that happens overnight, I guess, I guess that's a super cheesy and corny way to to finish this circle of what I'm trying to say, but like these big things, I just have to trust myself that I'm working in the right direction, and it's something that I'm struggling with. And I don't know if trusting yourself is just like self-esteem, or just everyone doesn't trust themselves, but I just have to start trusting myself, and I'm definitely getting better at that. Like, I trust myself to get good grades and stuff, but I just have to trust myself with these bigger things than just school, and trust myself that I am taking the right steps and moving in the right direction. I don't know. Wow. This episode has been going by super fast. Like, it's definitely coming easier. This podcasting stuff. I'm definitely, just getting more confident with my talking abilities, and like it's something that I've noticed. Like, I'm not looking at the timer as much anymore, and I'm just riffing, I'm just talking. Feels good. It feels good to just, it's weird how you have to practice, just getting your words out. Like, you have to practice being able to say what you want to say. I don't know, I think that's funny. I was watching, who's the fucking super smart guy that everyone hates? Eric Weinstein, I think, yeah, that dude. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about the importance of the English language and how important it is just to be able to use this language that we all talk just to get your point better across, and like how that can help you, like, with not only just arguing, but this podcast shit, just maybe with me talking into a mic, maybe I'm just getting better at using the English language to get my words out. Like, it's so weird. You have to practice talking to be able to get what you're thinking out. It's so weird how you have to practice what you have in your mind, which is words, getting it out to be understandable and like effective. I don't know. I think that's funny because we have to practice talking, even though we talk every day. Isn't that practice? Like, no, that's not enough. That's not enough practice. I guess that's like saying, I walk everywhere, so why don't I look like a marathon runner? Why isn't walking enough? I don't know. I hope I'm getting better at the English language, because it's really important. Like, everybody talks to everybody, and so if you're just better at talking, you know, your life is easier. It's like if you're better looking, your life is easier. If you're better talking, your life is easier. If you're smoother, your life is easier. If you're funnier, your life is easier. You know, it's things you gotta practice. I don't know. That was a really short one. Really short riff. I do want to talk about this other YouTuber called Epnax. Shout out him. He's funny. He's like one of these animation storytime animatics that aren't really animated. It's mostly just like pictures, and then like sometimes they're animated. I don't know. He's another one of those YouTubers, but he's super hood. At least I think he's hood, but he's just personifies like one of those people that hates the world and hates everybody around them, and like says how much they hate everybody and how everybody is stupid and how the world is stupid and school is stupid. Meh. I don't know. I like this vibe. Like, it's a very Mandy vibe. Like Mandy from Grim Adventures, Billy and Mandy. Like that kind of vibe. He's funny. Definitely check him out. I don't really know. I guess I could go into this NBA drama. So if you don't know, the NBA is trying to make a comeback, and it's kind of crazy, the plan they have going on. So what they want to do is they want to take everybody, well, not everybody, like they've already kicked out some teams that have no shot of being in the playoffs, but there's like some, like the playoffs aren't completely set. So they're going to have they're going to take like, I think it's 22 teams, and they're all going to go to Disneyland. Like, they're holding this shit in fucking Disneyland. So they're all gonna live in Disneyland, and they're gonna have this like community where all the NBA players and their families live. It's like you can't fucking write this shit. Sounds like a fucking goddamn TV show or some shit, like Family Matters NBA edition. I don't fucking know. But anyway, the NBA is pretty much just gonna be like its own city, like an Olympic village, except just for NBA. And like they're gonna do everything there, and it's gonna be just like the UFC. There's gonna be no crowds and stuff. So this has caused a ton of drama. First thing in drama was, you know, the fact that because there's gonna be no crowds, there's gonna be no fucking home court advantage. So what's the point of being the first seed? Like, these first seed teams are pretty much just gonna be shot down because like or there's pretty much gonna be no point to them getting first seed because there's no home court advantage, there's no crowd. So one way the NBA thought to combat this was putting in fake arena sounds from NBA 2K, the game. Like, they were just gonna rip the sounds from the game and rip the crowd sounds from the game and put it in the NBA arenas. Like, that would do jack shit. And then some people were saying they should put Chris Move sounds into the fucking goddamn arenas and shit, which Chris Move is a NBA 2K YouTuber, and he just has these funny like ad libs and shit. That should be funny. So that was the first little bit of drama, and now the second little bit of drama is some NBA players don't want the NBA to start back up because of the Black Lives Matter movement, and just like it's not the time for basketball. It's the time for like social reform, and all these people should be doing time. And like that's really, or all these players should be doing their work to try to get the word out about Black Lives Matter and political reform and defund the police and all this stuff. And it's very interesting because I kind of agree with that, but then some NBA players are saying like it would actually help Black Lives Matter and political reform if they, played, because then they could get paid and then they could use that money for good. And I don't know, it's a very difficult decision. Because what do you do? I understand both sides. And I'm kind of leaning towards, canceling it. But at the same time, I want the NBA season to come back. And I'm sure a lot of people do. And I feel like that would actually help a lot of people. It would get a lot of economy going, hopefully. And I don't know. And then one player, Patrick Beverley from Chicago, represent. Shout out Patrick Beverley. He said like the only person that can put a stop to the season is LeBron James. And like that is so true. Like if LeBron said he wasn't going to show up for this season, I'm sure the NBA would have to cancel. Like nobody would give a fuck anymore. Or like all the players would just start dropping. And like that's a lot of pressure to put on LeBron, because LeBron is so close to getting another ring. Like he was a first seed. The Lakers are a first seed, I think. So he's so close. But at the same time, like I don't know. I feel like I would be getting a lot of pressure to step out, But I don't know. I'm not LeBron. I'm just some guy talking out of his ass. It's just interesting. Interesting bit of drama coming out of the NBA. Something you don't, expect. But I don't know. It's interesting. And it's nice to see that these players are using their voice and they're not afraid to use their voice about political reform and stuff. So, that's the good thing. That players aren't afraid to get the word out and that the word out is being spread. Making it a little bit more real within the eyes of, NBA fans. Or maybe not even NBA fans, just normal people. So I think I'm going to probably end it here in the podcast. It's been a great podcast. Next podcast, I actually have a plan. I want to do a little shoe collection review. I don't think I'm going to show my entire shoe collection. If you guys don't know, I'm a shoe collector, sneakerhead. I like collecting shoes. I think I might do maybe a top 5 or a top 10 out of my sneaker collection. I was going to put in this one, but this takes a little bit more effort. I actually have to research the shoes and take videos of the shoes and stuff. So that's something for next episode. Procrastination. Shout out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching till the end. Really means a lot. And yeah, I'm glad I got this episode out so soon. Hopefully I can get more consistent and bring more podcasts out. Maybe it'll help my YouTube channel. Maybe, it'll help you guys listening. But yeah, thanks for listening. I hope this was a good time for you guys to listen to. And it was a good time for me to make. These podcasts are really helping me just get my thoughts out, get my feelings out. Check out the channels I recommended. They're going to be in the links below, and any other links that I think I should put below. And also below are my playlists for my music, for Mindless Thoughts Radio, not my music, but the music I listen to, and then the beats for Mindless Thoughts, if you want. Those are going to be always in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I live my life for you, so you guys can listen. That was a shitty outro line, but I'm gonna keep it. Peace out, guys.